Good afternoon, everybody. Happy Sunday. Welcome to episode 2 of In the Moment Sports Cards. I am James, better known as Tops North on Instagram. Thanks for joining me today. Lots of stuff to go over through this week. Lots happened this week in Moment Cards. We're gonna hopefully this week's episode's a little bit smoother than last one. Learned a few things from the first episode. But yeah, here's some things that I want to talk about this week. Obviously, the cards this week, and talk about Topps Now Inauguration. Lots happened this past week. A pretty big card that I have a feeling is going to get a lot of attention. Big week for Upper Deck game dated moments. Week 1 of the NHL, week and a half actually. And to talk a little bit more about the Upper Deck moments cards, we're going to talk about how to buy Upper Deck game dated moments, because it's not the typical cards that you would buy for like Topps Now or Panini Instant. So I'll get into that a little bit. Just in terms of what I got in this week, some mail that I received this week, a few mostly Topps Now cards. I've got some Panini Instant cards coming in. Hopefully this week they'll get produced and shipped by Panini. Couple of cards from the UEFA Champions League. Muokoko, he's obviously getting to be a fairly big name in Bundesliga with Borussia Dortmund. I'm going to butcher that. Sorry to my German friends that I know I butchered that. But this guy's cards are really becoming popular. Secondary market is really heating up for this guy. There's some Topps Now cards that are sitting out there. There are living set cards that are sitting out there. So some fairly good ones coming out. Another one. So the other thing, my game plan with Topps Now soccer cards is to do the rookies mostly, just like I do with my baseball cards. The MLB cards I buy mostly Blue Jays and rookie cards. The other one is what's this gentleman's name? Tino Angerin, and he plays for Chelsea FC. So there's that one. Did get a couple of baseball cards, so some lingering ones from last season. This one was the Cy Young Award finalist for Hyun-Jin Ryu. It was OJ's card, and I bought a 5-pack, hoping to get one of the parallels. So if you're not aware, last season Topps introduced the parallels. They were numbered out of 99, 49, 25, 10, 5, and 1. I hit a 25. Did all right. And some of my collector friends, I'm known as the Parallel King because I've done pretty well this past season with some of the Topps Now parallels. So I was really happy to get that. The other kind of big cards that came in for me this week, as I mentioned last week, was the Jeter Chrome cards. So I did get my 5-pack in. I'm only buying 5 packs of these because they're just too expensive. $22 per card. Versus the regular like $9 for a regular baseball card. Again, Parallel King. I was lucky enough to hit a numbered card, 4 out of 5. So really happy with that. This is the 3rd card that I've received in the series. So hoping this momentum keeps up with parallels. And you can see the 4 out of 5. Yeah, so hopefully this keeps up, the momentum keeps up. The quality of this one was a hell of a lot better than the previous one I received. The other one that I received, there was a pretty significant ding on one corner. The only other kind of odd thing was with this card was the 4. It's really kind of like smushed together. I don't know if it's because of the Chrome technology. It's really hard to read that it's 4 out of 5. But yeah, pretty happy with that. So hopefully I get most of those Jeter cards are on their way into me. So I really hope that I get some more parallels. So we'll see hopefully in the next couple of weeks. What else is going on? Let's move on over to what's happening in terms of other cards that were released this past week. Panini Instant, we'll start out with that. I bought my first NFL Panini card this week. I think I mentioned it last week yeah, I think I mentioned it last week. I just happened to catch the Bills game at the right time and saw the interception in the end zone, and the Bills run it back. Taron Johnson, what a moment. This is exactly what these products are meant for. That fantastic catch, that fantastic home run, whatever it is. So, I had a couple of people in my group buys reach out to me and say, "Hey, are you going to be buying these cards? It'd be great if I think you'd sell a few." And I did. I ended up ordering 50 of these, and quite a few people jumped on them. So, quite happy with that, and, bring the price down for everybody. So that was great. Someone also reached out to me and suggested the Tom Brady and Drew Brees card, that kind of moment at the end of the game. Two iconic players in the NFL. Brees' final game, I'm assuming. So it was a touching moment. There was also a video, I don't know if everybody saw it, after the game, and where they were both on the field in their regular street clothes, and Brady threw a ball to one of Brees's kids. Really nice moment. But yeah, this was another great card. So yeah, I can't believe that I bought football, and I'm not a football fan. Like, I watch some games, but far from it. So we'll see how I'm interested to see the print runs for both those cards. So hopefully we'll get those in the next couple of weeks when they come in. In terms of NBA, saw the first card with Harden in a Nets uniform. And ironically, the one that they printed was one of their alternate uniforms. So, another great moment. There was another card with him and Durant. Yeah, Durant. I didn't order that one. Not as the card was kind of nice, but not as nice as this one, I think. So we'll see how that does. And then the Wiseman, obviously continue to do rookie cards personally and order them as part of my group buys. Yeah, so it was some good cards there from Panini this past week. Moving over to Topps now. Couple more Bundesliga cards, rookie cards. The oh man, I'm going to butcher this guy's last name. Wemen Gituka. Oh, I apologize if I butcher that. And then Felix Agu. From what I understand, Agu, I think, had a couple of more goals since this card was published by Topps. So hopefully that'll bring some of the print runs up on that. Some definite interest in those two. I don't think there were any parallels this past week. I'm not aware of any. We'll have to check that out later on. Now, but more importantly, moving over to Inauguration Day. So I'm going to show the 2016 card. So I went down a rabbit hole this past week when Topps published the inauguration cards from this past week. I saw the post that Topps put up advertising on their Facebook page for the Biden-Harris inauguration. Yeah, the comments were, I'm not going to get political, but they were entertaining. I actually had to, a couple of people were like, "Oh, well, where are the cards for Trump? Where were they for Trump in 2016 and 2017?" And I put the comments in saying, "Well, yeah, there were actually there were cards for them." So this is just to show that, this is not the first time that Topps has put out election cards. They did some in 2016. And here were the cards from the inauguration day. Some pretty decent shots. They actually had a shot of Obama leaving. These are actually pretty expensive cards on the secondary market. There's not a lot of them. The print runs were fairly low for these cards. They're kind of hard to come by. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with this year's cards. So there were quite a few cards produced. So last election, inauguration day, there were 6 cards produced. This time alone, there were 12, 11, maybe 10 or 12 cards produced for this year, or the 2020 inauguration, 2021 inauguration. The cards that I'm showing, I think, are the more interesting ones that they've produced. Why? Well, they've got the shots of both Kamala Harris and Joe Biden being sworn in, which is, interesting enough. They've got, the first picture of Biden and his wife Dr. Biden going into the White House. Obviously interesting, but I think the more interesting ones are of the entertainers that were there: Garth Brooks, J-Lo, Lady Gaga, and Amanda Gorman. Why do I think those are interesting? There aren't many Topps Now entertainment cards out there. There is the Little Nas card, if you remember, and I meant to pull it from a few years ago when he had his Old Town Road single, one of the biggest songs. But yeah, there are not that many entertainment cards. So I really think these would be the cards to go after. I don't think the print runs are going to be as high on these. And again, there's not many Topps Now cards out there of entertainers. So, if I were to recommend any, I'd go for these. And especially that Gorman one. I think this is going to be a highly underrated card. Hearing big things about this young lady. She's attracted a lot of attention, from her poem that she read or during the inauguration. People are really up on her and big on her. She's had other companies reach out to her or other organizations reach out to her and to kind of help her be a successful person. I think this may be a bit of a hidden gem in terms of the cards from that set. So, there's only a few more days left on these. I think they were only doing them for a week this time, unlike the election day cards, which were like a month long. But I highly recommend getting those 4 cards. And then obviously the big card to come out of that day, the Bernie Sanders. What a card, right? Like, that picture has turned into some fantastic memes, some fantastic GIFs. It's hilarious, right? Like, I think this card will outprint the Dr. Fauci card, which is still the highest print run of a Topps Now card. It was almost 50,000. This one is going to outproduce it. I wouldn't be surprised if it hits 100,000 cards. It's just hilarious. I think it might be my favorite Topps Now card to date. Beating any kind of Blue Jay card that I have, or any of the Topps Now Star Wars cards. This is such an iconic picture. It says so much about 2020 and 2021. Yeah, I think this is going to be a great card. So I'd love to hear your comments. Love to hear how many you think this is going to print. It's hilarious. So that was the weekend cards, at least for Panini Instant and Topps Now. Again, the next big thing that happened this past week was the first week of Upper Deck game dated cards came out. I was lucky. I was able to hit quite a few. There was only 3 cards this week. So Lafreniere, I'm not going to mispronounce his name. Lafreniere. There was a Mark Stone and then a Tim Stutzel, kind of a rookie card. So things, I think I mentioned it before, things changed a little bit with the game dated cards this past year. Previous years, it was an open print run. You could go on, you could buy up to 99 per transaction, and it was unlimited, right? Just like Topps Now, just like Panini Instant, there were unlimited print run. They changed it up this year. They were only doing 499 of the base card, and then randomly inserting these gold cards, which were 100 printed cards. I bought my first transaction. I bought 5 of each. So again, sorry, the limit was 10 per transaction, and I'm gonna make sure you note that 10 per transaction. I bought 5 of each in my first transaction. I hit the Stone Gold and the Stutzel Gold. Did not hit a Lafreniere Gold. I quickly added another 5-pack, and I was lucky enough to hit the gold. So I got a base and gold of each card. A lot of people were not happy how things went with this. I'm in a Facebook EPAC Facebook group, and people were quite upset as to the availability of these cards. A lot of people were not able to get these cards. So they dropped at noon Eastern on Friday. Not sure. People thought they were going to be able to get them later on based on previous experience, where they could log on at any time and buy them because they were there for a week. They didn't realize maybe that they were limited to that time. Yeah, it's unfortunate. It's kind of what's happening in the hobby now, right? Where cards are being limited. People are buying them. They're selling out quickly. It is what it is. I hate to say it. I was lucky, which kind of leads into what I was going to talk about next, which was how do you buy game dated cards, right? And I'll come back to that purchase that I made on Friday, but the game dated cards are a different purchase process. So again, with Topps now, Panini Instant, they come up available for 24, 36 hours, a week long, 2 weeks long sometimes. You go on, you print, you purchase as many as you want, and the clock runs out, and Topps and Panini ships them to you. Upper Deck are not like that. So they have this e-pack, digital, I would say, card kind of experience, kind of website. So this is how you buy Upper Deck game dated moment cards. So you have to set up an account, an Upper Deck e-pack, okay? To purchase the game dated moment cards, you have to add another hockey pack into your card. So they've got all these different, all these other game dated, Upper Deck products. There's like Series 1, Series 2, they are digital. They can be transferred to physical eventually. Some are just digital. There's varying prices. They've got, the higher tier cards available, just like they have the Series 1, Series 2 cards. But yeah, you add any other hockey pack into your cart, it unlocks the game dated packs. These are separate packs that you go and purchase. So you regular pack, it unlocks the game dated packs. It's one card per pack. So today you can put up to 10 packs. You add those to your cart, you complete your purchase, and then you open your pack. It's a digital pack, so it's kind of the fun part, especially now with the parallels, with the gold parallels. Looks like the pack is burning to reveal the card that's within the pack, and then it sits in your collection. You see the card. It becomes part of your collection. You can trade those cards just like a physical card. You can lock those cards. But yeah, they sit in your collection. How do you get them to physical cards? Well, you have to wait. So Upper Deck holds them in your inventory, or they don't allow you to transfer them until 4 to 6 weeks after the cards originally release. So after you wait that 4 to 6 weeks, you go through a little bit of a process to say, yes, I want to transfer these cards to physical cards, and then ComC takes over. Check out my cards. They Upper Deck produces the cards. They send to ComC. You can either have it become part of your ComC account if you have a ComC account, or you tell Upper Deck, I want you to ship them to me. ComC deals with all the shipping. So they hold the physical cards for those that have a ComC account, and then they will also ship on behalf of Upper Deck. In total, currently, it's about a 6-month process. Like, this is the only downside or the one thing that kind of I'm not impressed about Upper Deck game dated moment cards is it's just too long of a process. Waiting that 4 to 6 weeks for them to unlock the cards, then getting them transferred to the ComC, and the reason it's taking that additional time of 3 to 4 months to get them from ComC's backed up, right? There are tons of people that are trying to pull their cards out of ComC, and they're backlogged. I don't know if it's because of volume. It's definitely because of COVID, and they've had restrictions within their own organizations, from what I understand. But yeah, you've got to wait to send them. I'm still waiting on playoff cards from back in September, October, when I transferred them. The current kind of date that I have for what I have 35 cards coming from Upper Deck and ComC is March. I hope that I get them earlier. I did get another order of 15 cards from the start of the playoff series. I did get them a little bit earlier. I was supposed to get them in February and ended up getting them late December, early January. So who knows? But it's not a great process. Again, Topps Panini, you order, window ends, they ship them to you. Like, at most, because I'm in Canada, it's 2 months, right? With Upper Deck Game Moments, it's 6 months. That's just way too long. I really hope that they think about that process and they revise it, because it'll be better for collectors. That being said, there are achievements that you can obtain by purchasing the Upper Deck Game Dated Moment cards. They've got some, like if you buy a certain number of rookie cards, you're eligible to get Rookie of the Month cards. If you have so many cards by the end of the season, if you have all the cards by the end of the season, there's some autograph cards that you can redeem for. Again, the only problem I don't like with that is, from what I understand, you have to continue to hold the cards as digital. Once you transfer them to physical, they're not eligible to get those achievements. So that's part of the reason why I bought 5 of each, 10 of Laffy. I want to be able to get some of those cards in hand as physical cards as soon as possible, and then I'll hold 1 or 2 back to get those achievement cards at the end of the season. So tips for success with Game Dated Moment. This is what I did, and this is how I was successful in getting all 3 cards, including the gold cards. Aside from setting up an account, sign in early. Get on a half an hour early. Make sure you're signed on to the site. Make sure your profile is up to date. I added my payment, how I was going to be paying for these cards. I added them before the purchase window opened. All these things is, it's just like buying tickets on Ticketmaster. As much as information that you can get into your account, the faster it is going to be able to buy tickets, buy cards, right? Add one of those mandatory cheap hockey packs to your cart. So I want to emphasize the cheap part. So again, there are varying prices of card packs. Up until Friday, there was Fusion, Upper Deck Fusion packs, an older, like 2013, 2014 pack. They were 79 cents for a pack, which made the price per card for the Game Dated Moments that much cheaper. The Game Dated Moments were $4.99. I think they were previously $3.99, and they've updated or increased them to $4.99. So and it's just one pack of these regular hockey cards that you need to add to be able to purchase any of the other Game Dated Moment cards. So I had the 1.79 pack, and I had 5 of each of the other. But yeah, make sure you're buying a cheap pack. So those 79-cent Fusion cards, they're sold out now. There are some other 99-cent packs that are from previous years. Again, if you're going to do these Game Dated Moment cards, just add one of those 99-cent packs. Make it cheaper for yourself. But definitely add that pack to your card before the window opens up for Game Dated Moments, because as soon as those packs become available, it'll unlock those Game Dated Moment cards. You don't want to have to be fooling around. Oh, what pack should I add to my card to unlock those cards? Just get that pack in there as soon as you can. Be online 5 minutes before the release. Again, just like buying tickets. Get on. Start refreshing. Once that 12 o'clock hits, 12 o'clock Eastern hits, refresh. I will say I did find that the packs didn't actually become available until about 12:03-ish, 12:05. So they weren't exactly noon. I'm sure it was still someone that was like, oh, I better launch those cards, right? And then buy the max on the cards you really want. That's the last kind of tip I have. Again, I bought 5 of each. I bought 5 of each because I wanted to increase my chance of getting the gold cards. You are allowed 10 per transaction. Emphasis on the transaction. You're allowed to do multiple transactions. I was reading in that group that there was somebody that bought 66 of the Laffy cards. So 66 out of a 499 limited card. Yeah, I'm sure the person's going to end up flipping them or trading them within the e-pack. platform. A lot of people were upset about that. I get it. I understand. I would be frustrated too. You know, if I wasn't able to obtain the Laffy card, the base card, I'd be upset too. But it is what it is. This is what's happening in the hobby right now with really anything. You go to Walmart, someone's clearing out the Walmart shelves of the retail boxes. You know, you see things on Panini with like first off the line boxes. You know, the bots are picking them up, and they've done various things there to you know, kind of dissuade people from doing things like that. But it's going to happen, unfortunately. That's why these are the kinds of tips for success that I recommend. Be on there early, be ready, you know, just be prepared to be able to purchase those cards that you really, really want. You're not going to know which cards are going to come up until the window opens up. They don't advise it ahead of time, which might be an idea for them to do. And then, you know, they may change on the restrictions. Maybe they should be doing 10 per account instead of 10 per transaction. Although if they do 10 per account, I could see people doing multiple accounts to be able to get multiples of the cards again, right? 10, 20, 30 cards if they do 2 or 3 accounts. So we'll see what happens. Again, I was lucky enough to get the cards. I'm really happy with, you know, how they look. I really enjoyed the design this season. Again, I was buying previous, some older cards. Really didn't like some of the designs from a couple of seasons ago. Definitely like last year's design. This season, they're kind of a cool look this year. I definitely like the logo that they've introduced with the GDM. Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to getting these in hand in 6 months, hopefully sooner. Yeah, so we'll see how things go. That's really about it for this week. Again, if you have any questions, or if you have any things you want me to talk about, or you know, if there's more information that you'd like to know about Topps Now, Panini Instant, Upper Deck, let me know. Reach out to me via Instagram, Topps North. Send me a private message there. I know with YouTube, for some reason, I've got to figure this out still. It doesn't post right away to my videos, but if you go into the live stream section of my channel, you will see these. Please feel free to ask questions there. I should be able to see them there, and I'll try and respond. Or if you want to see different things that I want to cover, post a comment there, and I'll definitely have a look. Thanks again, everyone. I really appreciate you tuning in or watching this later on. Really hope to have more people come on and really appreciate the moment cards, Panini Instant, Topps Now, and Upper Deck game data moments. But yeah, have a great week. Go Bills, even though I'm not a football fan. Go Bills, and we'll talk to you next week. Thanks.